Greetings. What's going on, Dale? How you doing, good sir? Good to see you. Sorry for my appearance. I did change this camera to output in 4K. I did realize last time it was still running in 1080. So hopefully it looks better and it's outputting it closer to 4K. I mean, but now everything should be a little easier to read. Like you can see the box of cable behind me. I still haven't done my home network project that I spoke about, so we'll see. We'll see if I can get a hammer drill. Maybe tomorrow I'll purchase my own and I'll actually have a hammer drill, because I have to mount into brick down in my basement for some of the stuff. But I got the rack and stuff like that in the house, so that's part of it. I got a switch down here that I need to put in the house, because that's a 2.5 gig switch and the 2.5 gig internet is in the house. So we might as well put the 2.5 gig switch in the house with the 2.5 gig network. Makes sense. But I did get a couple of little goodies from Orange Pie. If you can see it, we'll see if it'll. Let's see here. There we go. The Orange Pie 3B 4 gig icon and Zyber. Good to see you guys. And an Orange Pie 8 gig. So they sent me a 4 gig and an 8 gig model of their 3B. So I have both of these for something. For something. I'm going to take the two Raspberry Pis and put them in one. I'm going to take the two Libres and put them in one. And I'm going to take the two Orange Pis and put them in one. And then we're going to take out one Libre and one Orange Pie. So the lesser of them, the lesser performing ones will come out, and then these will go in their place. So there'll be the two Pis, the two Libres, the two Orange, and then we'll play around with what's what. But part of this and these showing up worked out real well, because in here is something from LTX. Some of you guys remember on one of the streams I mentioned to LTX about sending me or possibly cutting some panels for this, and LTX came through. So here are the cut panels. MMN lab racks. MMN lab racks. I'm sure I got a kid coming out here right now, because my wife told me that she was having, all the daughters were coming home tonight except for the youngest one. So the three oldest daughters were going to be home. She said, good idea, you go out and stream tonight so that mom and the girls can stay in the house, and hopefully I'll live to see another day. So, but Vince, good to see you, my man. Hope you're doing well. Ooh. Oh, yeah. He did the black acrylic. And nice. I hope they fit. We were doing this on a guess. So if they don't fit perfectly, don't be mad at LTX. I basically said I believe this is how big they are in the slicer, because he has 3D printed panels. So yeah. Is that the Creality High on the table? No, it is not, good sir. That's the Anycubic Cobra 3. I traded, you guys will notice the, oh, actually you won't notice, but give me a second here. You guys will notice, for those who missed it, the P1 is currently gone and has been traded for a Cobra 3. It's not a V2, it's just an original V1, if you will. But let's just see here. Oh yeah, that looks like it'll fit perfectly. So we're going to take this apart and put these in. But we got to get everything unwrapped first, because I know there's a special piece hiding in here. So LTX, I got to say, man, I love the use of the tape to hold everything. That is awesome. Helps protect it, keep it safe, and when all's said and done, if I do it right, I'll have a big piece of tape I can use. But obviously, look at that nice matte black acrylic. Viking, good to see you. Build over bot, good to see you. So not suggesting staples to hold it. Yeah, no, not staples. But yeah, I think these should fit perfectly. Should be pretty close. We went just a little bit shy of what the 3D printed math came out to, and it's that matte acrylic. So it looks real nice. And it has that nice matte finish, of course. And then, of course, there is a top and a bottom panel. There's a solid bottom panel here that'll go right down in here. And let's see. Yeah, it looks like that will. Let's see. Yep, that will fit down in there. We just got to make sure that we take off the right parts so that we can slide everything together. But it looks like the sides, the top and bottom, they're all the same. And then it's just a matter of making it work, you know. But LTX is your go-to for panels. Yeah, LTX does good work. Cannot complain. You know, there are several people in our little click group, whatever you want to call it, that do this kind of stuff, and I support them all. They all do really good work. I say if they're near you, closer to you, and you can get them a little quicker if time is of the essence, definitely go with the ones closest to you. Otherwise, if you have a preference, I will never tell you who to use or who not to use. That turned out pretty good. Pretty good. I like it. I'll show you guys this one, but I gotta get the tape off. Gotta get the protective tape off. JPP, yeah, gang, things are getting better. There's still, you know, some mental blocks and stuff. I was kind of contemplating streaming tonight, and I finally said I just need to do it. But look at that. Right in the middle of the fan, he did the MakerMine Nexus logo for me with MakerMine Nexus. The MakerMine Nexus is a bit tiny, a little hard to read, but it's there. And I'm sure over time it will clear itself out. But yeah, that looks pretty freaking sweet. And that's for the top here, so that this way, put a fan up there, help pull the air up. So that'd be pretty nice, you know. Only hard to read with old eyes. Yeah. But no, it turned out amazing. LTX did a wonderful job. I am super thankful. And if you guys need anything, hit up LTX. I get nothing for it, but if you need panels, hit up LTX. Tell him you want some panels made. You saw what he did. This is custom stuff that, to get the math, I just loaded the 3D printable panels that he had Michael Clements put in the 3D printed for the files for this. I just loaded it in the slicer and said, this is my X, this is my Y, and it's 3 mils. And he said, got you covered. And we went back and forth, and I said, maybe make it just a little bit smaller. I'd rather it be a little smaller and float in there a little bit than it be too tight and then have to shave it down. So he took off just enough. So if you build a Labrax, if you actually end up building one of these and you want the panels yourself, if you want to get some panels cut, hit up LTX. He's got the files. Once we get these installed and we know they work, he'll know those are good files, and he can make you a set. But let me get the tools out here so we can take these guys off and this back one off so that we can kind of slide everything together. I think if I take this one, if I take the back part off, since I got stuff mounted to the front, if I take the back off, I can slide everything in and then put the back on. You know what I mean? It is a little sticky in here, gang. So let me kick up my AC a little bit. I hope the noise isn't too bad. I hope the noise cancellation is working. You'll have to let me know if you guys can hear a lot of the AC in the background, or if it's actually faint enough that it's not annoying you. But yeah, tell him Mike sent you. He'll charge you 10% more. Yes. Yes, Mike, you have that effect on people, don't you? Don't you? I have one problem right now. I shoved this drawer in too far, and the way it sits here, it pushed up into the stupid thing. So this is where my Allens are. So there we go. Let's see here. I think it was the blue. I could be wrong. And I was. It was the yellow. Okay. Got to grab my yellow Allen here. I do apologize, guys. There's not going to be much to see on, kind of on this. But you guys know how it goes. I'll do my best to hold it up to the camera for you while when I do all this. Because if I take this one off, these two out, and this is the other reason why I like that. I mean, granted, it uses M6 heat inserts to build this thing. So that is kind of a pain, but he does have one that actually uses actual nuts. Let's see, can we get that out of there without breaking anything? Will it come out easy? Now let's take the top ones out real quick then. And actually, I guess, no, I did need to do that. So nope, there's no back panel. So really, all I needed to take out was 4 of them. I didn't need to take out 6 of them. Stupid Dan. How can you take out the 2 that hold it to the top and the 2 that hold it to the bottom side pieces? And then there's no back. Oops. So really, I only needed to do that. Thankfully, I'm not too worried about what was in here. The switch, I want to replace with a different switch. I've been trying to hit up Ubiquiti. If anybody's got any pull with Ubiquiti, see if they would be willing to sponsor my home network. Some 2.5 gig equipment for the whole house. Be greatly appreciated. And maybe a 2.5 gig switch for this little guy. Okay. So, let's see. Top panel. Slide that in there and make sure it goes all the way. Okay, there's that. Let's just test with this piece to make sure that it's going to be good, because the pieces are all the same. And no, it is a bit longer than it needs to be, so there will be some shaving that will need to be done. Let me see. Okay, so the top piece means the bottom piece is probably the same. Let's try here. They're all like these for the sides. Let's get that in there real quick. And let's just see how the sides do at least. Side is good. Okay. In the sides, they're good. Make sure I put them in the right way, because one side does have the laser, like the burned part from the laser. It could very well be too that I need to clean out a little bit of it as I go. Okay, so this one's good, but oh yeah, there is some crap in that channel there at the bottom. Let me clean that out. Let me clean that out. The nut is the person building it. Yes, Built Over Bot, you are correct. You are correct. I am a bit nuts. That is correct. I'll accept it. I'll take it. Wear it as a badge of honor, right? Make sure this is all cleaned out in here. Okay. Let me just double check something here. And yes, those are the same size. So if one side fit, the other side should too. But let's see what happens here. It is definitely in my print. Oh, there we go. Wait, nope, not far. Well, actually, it should be pretty good there, because we put this piece back on. The top and bottom are a little big, so we'll have to cut those. But yeah, That works perfectly on the sides at least, so the side panels should be pretty stinking good. Yeah. Okay, that one's good, and that one went a little too far, so there. We are good though. Okay, so those panels are good, but the bottom and the top are a little off. I'm believing. I am believing it is. We're gonna kind of fit. We're gonna put these two screws back in real quick. So this back piece is one whole piece. So this will be one whole piece. It'll be a little easier to figure out. Your wife uses that filament. Oh, the lightweight PLA. Yeah. I don't know about the lightweight stuff there, JPP, myself personally. So sorry, bud. But Built Over Bot says his wife uses it. So he can ask her to answer any question you may have. Or he might be able to even answer whatever question you may have. So gang, how is the overall internet so far for you guys? The video quality looking better at 4K for the camera? I don't know that it's outputting at anything higher, but I at least upped the camera to output at 4K since it can. I think the stream itself is still 1080, 60. So, but let's just see now with that one in there if it'll. It will not. Okay, so it's going to involve a little bit of sanding action. We're going to have to sand it down. I don't have any sandpaper with me at the moment. I know he said if I needed some, he would send some. I probably have some. I'm just being stupid. But we're going to have to kind of sand down the edge a bit. And by a bit, I mean quite a bit. It is quite a bit longer than it needs to be, but here's a good time to measure how much needs to come off for the future. Short stroking motions. Yes, that's the same thing I do. Never mind. Let's find the ruler here, and we'll see how much needs to come off, and then I can let LTX know so he can modify the file. There is currently about 6 mils on the top and bottom. It is roughly 6 mils. So need to knock that down to probably knock the full 6 mils off looking at it, because it does rest. There is a lip under here. There's a little lip right at the end of my finger there that it rests against right here. So take that full 6 mils off. So for the top and bottom panels on the X, need to knock off well, here. So this dimension going to the 225, 6, 7, 227 is fine. But this dimension, it needs to be 169. 169, not 175. So 169, 170, somewhere in there. So we need to knock off quite a bit, actually. Kind of wish I had a laser that could cut this myself. I wasn't such a dumbass and sold the K40 I got from Shane. I would have a K40. I could slap this in there and let it rip. And I need to quit knocking this damn rack over because it is 3D printed, but I don't know how much more of that it can take before it says, screw you, Dan, and parts start falling apart completely. You know? But I do want to see if I can get a little bit more out of this corner. It seems like this little corner right here is kind of where the problem lies. Okay. Just trying to kind of clear it out. I'm not going to be able to like do too much with it, but I think we'll be okay now. Tuck that one in. That looks nice. Let me see something. This piece on this side, do I get the same effect or same issue? Yeah, see, this one flushes up nicely. So, that being said, let's see if this one is just a little bit smaller. Yep, never mind. There's the bottom. Dan grabbed the wrong pieces for the wrong parts, guys. Don't listen to Dan. He's a dumbass. Let's see now. If I put this one up here, tuck that in, tuck that in. There we go. Okay. That is better. Okay. Now let's see if this top will go in then. Maybe Dan's just a total dumbass, guys. Well, no, because the top is still sticking out quite a bit much. So one of them ended up being a little bit smaller, which works for here, which is good, because then that means I can at least put in all but the top. I got a little schmutz on there. But yeah, there we go. Okay, so the bottom panel is good. The top panel is not. I just want to see something here. Yeah, the top panel is just that much too big. See, look. Let me hold it up to the camera for you. It's black on black, a little harder to see, but look at that. You can kind of see. Let me square it up. There you go. See that? It is just it's just a bit much at the top. Michael Cassell, good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, the top panel cannot work with right now. Bottom panel, side panels can go on, which is fine. You know, we'll put them all together and we'll see how it looks with at least the 3 panels in, right? Oh, let's flip this over. Put the laser schmutzed edge down so you don't see it when you do look inside. There we go. Get that in place, get those in, and then let's bring all this together, shall we? See how it does here. And there's that. There's that, there's that. Okay, we'll get one side set of screws in first. One side set, one set side. Havoc, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Trying to get filament profiles set up and working out. I sent pictures of the prints you did in DM. All right, man, I'll take a peek here. We'll show them off to everybody here in just a few. Let me get these couple of screws in real fast. You know, I just want to keep this thing from flopping over and falling apart again. Then I got to take out a couple of boards, which, speaking of, gang, if anybody wants some of these like boards I have, let's work a deal. Let's work a deal. Let's play. Let's make a deal. Because I have so many Libre boards. If anybody's interested, realistically, I'm not going to use them all. I ended up with them all over the years, collecting them for different stuff, and didn't give them any real, like, true test, you know. So that being said, we'll play the game. Let's make a deal. I gotta shimmy this around, and there we go. Shimmy it into place. But we'll yeah, just let me know. We'll figure something out. I think Havoc, didn't we talk about me next time you and I meet up? Didn't I talk about something about getting one your way? And Zyber, you love your little potato? Yeah, or the La Potato. Yeah, the La Potato is a nice little board. Am I missing the hole here? Wouldn't be my first time. I think I got it finally. Think. Let's see. Might be. Might be you have so few kids, Dan. Yeah, oh, just a few. Fully no documentation needed for the potato. Yeah, the potato, oh, documentate, yeah. Oh, thankfully, no documentation needed for the potato. Okay, yeah. It's okay, I missed it. Just don't put it in the wrong one. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are going to get me in some trouble, I swear. That's why I love having you guys around, because when I'm in a stupid mood, you guys are right there with me, you know? It does suck that that top panel is going to need some trimming, but we'll make do. You know what I mean? We'll make it happen. Let's just get this screw kind of cranked down. There we go. All right. So, with LTX's matte black acrylic panels, there's the one side. The other side, yeah, you got my greasy, oily fingers on there, and there's the bottom. So there's at least those panels on. And here it is. I mean, how much better does that look with the panels on it? It is definitely way more rigid now, too. I mean, just adding a couple panels, it's amazing what you get from that. You can take this out. I do want to... I'm gonna rearrange the board layout here. I know like I said, I know I've got some Libre boards in here. I've got the Raspberry Pis. I have a 3B or a Raspberry Pi 5. I have two Raspberry Pi 5s. I think I'm gonna leave the Raspberry Pi one out for right now and get the other Raspberry Pi 5. I'll do two Raspberry Pi 5s, which isn't a fair, isn't really a fair like run when you're, with the latest and greatest from Raspberry Pi, and then you've got the Libre Alta board. But I think it's only fair to put at least the boards together. So I could run the two Raspberry Pi 5s. Because I don't really know what I'm going to do with this. I know I want to build it out. I don't know what I'm going to put in it yet. The Orange Pis, will install some software on those and play around with them. Those were sent to me by Orange Pi, so I must be transparent. They were sent to me for free. I will tell you guys that it did take over a month to get them. And the boxes came or the box that it all came in was smashed. They did ask, hey, plug them in, turn them on, see what happens, let me know, or let us know. And I did just that. I took them to work with me today because I got them yesterday. I took them to work with me today, got them up and running. One nice thing about the Orange Pi stuff, and this is like no slap against anybody else, but is that slot right there. And if you notice, it is a full 200, the 2280 M.2. or NVMe M.2. I forget exactly which way it goes. I believe there's a limitation of like 128 gigs though on that. You can also get the little Orange Pi eMMC module, snap that on there if you wanted to. And then of course there's SD, and you can always run USB. The 3B does have, if you look, you can see that there are two standard USB 2, and then there's what appears to be one USB 3, but if you look at that, it does look like there's something else going on there with that white port under the blue. See the extra pins? So I'm not sure what the white port is, if it's actually a modified USB 2. I got to look up the specs on this, and we'll do that here in a minute. But they told me that they couldn't send me 8 gig models because they were out of 8 gig models. I said, okay, fine, not a problem. I explained to them I was working on this, building it on the streams and showing it off. And I said, currently I have 3 Raspberry Pis and 3 Libre computers. Would you guys be interested in maybe sending a couple boards along for me to add to the build and put in here instead? I have no problem, moving stuff around or shuffling things around to add a couple of your boards to the build. They said, we'll send you 2 of the 4 gig because we're out of the 8 gig. I said, okay, fine, great, not a problem. 2 4 gig, 3Bs would be nice. The cool part is they also come with the wireless antenna. They just wedge it in between the USB, but it does have an actual wireless dongle on these. So doing something silly like, I don't want that to bite me, whatever, it's a spider. I don't know what kind. I don't want it to bite me. I don't want to potentially have my skin decay. I'm starting to find there's more of those kinds of spiders around me. But I figure we'll put 2 in here, you know, one way, one the other, and then kind of have some fun with it. But I don't know. I don't know which way I want to go with everything. You know, that's kind of the problem I have. My ADHD's got me talking in circles. You guys are having a hell of a time following the friggin' dopamine right now. So apologies. Yeah. Downside of living in lumberyard is, you'll never get rid of those. Yeah, exactly. Build overbought. I live in a giant, you know, wood box. By live, I mean I work in here when I'm out here working. So, but what do you guys think? Should I go with the 2 Raspberry Pi 5s in this? Hoity, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Should I put the 2 Raspberry Pi 5s in here, or should I take the Raspberry Pi 5 out, save it for something else, and leave the Raspberry Pi 3 and 3B, or the 3B and 3B Plus that I have in here, and save the Pi 5 for something else? And that's the thing, Bill, about I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of winging it. So I think I'll leave the Raspberry Pi 5 in. I'll do at least 1 Raspberry Pi 5 for now. But I need to take these out so that I can get to the orange pies, so we can mount the orange pies up. So let's do that. And Havoc, this weekend, if you were thinking about meeting up, brother, I can't. But if you had anything else you wanted to part ways with and send my way, or you had anything from me you wanted to meet up with, next weekend, next Saturday, Sunday, maybe we can meet up at that truck stop again. If you ask Thorpe if he's floating around in the background, he'll tell you I love meeting up at truck stops. And Havoc, you know that now too. But, you know, if you want to, we can meet up. I'll have a couple of Libre boards for you. And I don't know if I'll have anything else, but, you know, we just grab ourselves a bite to eat and shoot the breeze. If anybody else is in the Illinois area and Havoc wants to do that, maybe we can all meet up at the same truck stop. You know, just have a truck stop meetup. Gotta lurk and travel. All right, Bill Dorbot, be safe, brother. Be safe. Don't do nothing dumb while you're traveling. I need to get this Libre board out of here. This is a potato. Here's the potato. Everybody's talking about the potato. Here it is. I'm gonna pull the potato, I think. I might put it in on the other side with the other Libre board, but I'm gonna do the Raspberry Pis, orange pies, and then the Libre boards across. And then I'm gonna I'll do the which one's this one? This is the 3B, not the Plus. So let's take this one out. Yeah. But anyway, gang, so what's new with everybody? What have I been missing? I've been kind of absent for about 2 weeks and everything. Lurking occasionally when mentally I can bring myself to lurk. This one didn't even have a damn SD card in it. What the hell was I thinking? I put this in there with no OS on it. The 2 orange pies, only one of them has an SD card in it right now. I'll write another one and slide it in there. I got a couple 32 gigs. They'll be fine for pretty much anything I plan on doing. Take that out. Let's grab the, let's see, we can mount them up either way. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. I'm not currently gonna put a M.2 on these. It's not to say down the road I won't, but currently I will not be putting an M.2 on these. This mount is okay, except for because of the M.2 on the back, it won't sit all the way down, so the board doesn't sit like, it sits in there just fine and will work, but with the M.2 in there, it won't sit as good as it needs to be. And because of the M.2, the SD card is off. So I have to see if somebody makes, like the guy that designed these, I'll see if he has one for the Orange Pi boards. So before I go super crazy into doing that, let's see if we can remember where the hell that was. It was Jeff Geerling that posted this guy's stuff. And I'm trying to remember what it's called, so I'll have to dig through my folders. Let me dig through a folder real quick here, gang. Down Under Maker, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope life is treating you wonderful. But oh, LabStack. That's right, the LabStack Mini. So we got to go look up LabStack. Bear with me here while I go dig up the LabStack Mini stuff. LabStack Mini. Okay. Jared C01, LabStack Modular Mounting Solution. Let's see in here. LabStack modules, STLs. Let me copy this real quick. Close that. Open this. Paste it here. And then we'll jump over here. Go right here. There you go. Oh, I forgot. Since I messed with the camera, let's fix this real quick. Look at how big that is now because I bumped it up to 4K. So we'll make it smaller. There we go. Okay, let's see if there's one in here for Orange Pi. Module 1Pi V1, NVMe base Pi with the Wizzed Pi 5 gig hat. The Pi with 25 SD, Keystone jack, the hat, wave share, 2x25. Here's the Jet KVM, Keystones with pass-through, Keystones, Pi, SD, Keystone, blank. And then here's the wave share 2.8 display. Radix module ×2 Pi with fans. What's that? Just the fan stuff. Okay. If anybody is interested, give me a second here. Let's go to LabStack. Oh, here you go. Paste the link. There you go. That's where I'm at right now. If anybody is interested. I hope you can actually enjoy that Havoc, because every time I try to take a weekend off, there's always something. You know what I mean? There's always something. So that's laser cut bracket for LabStack 19. LabStack Mini. What do we got in here? We got brackets, STLs. That's for the M3 nuts. Here's the M3 M3 by 3 by 4.6 brass inserts. Here's the 3 by 4 by 5 inserts. That's the ones I printed, or the one I printed. And then here is the mini module bracket ×2. So that's just the actual LabStack Mini brackets. Didn't even get to listen to project streams this morning because the manager called off. You got 4 days worth of supplies ordered at 8 a.m. and had one guy with you. Nice. Was a you? Oh, yes, the old tits on a bowl. Yep. Okay. Well, I'm thinking 2 Raspberry Pi 5s, and this would be interesting. But let's go ahead and take the other one out. I'm going to do some snooping on the internet. If you guys happen to find a mod, like any kind of a modded file for the LabStack Mini or for the LabStack here that will work with the Orange Pis, let me know. Another thing too, to my 3D designing friends, my friends that like to design things, a 2U bracket for the Big Tree Tech HDMI screen. That would be awesome because Big Tree Tech sent me one. LTX, what's going on, man? Hey, one of the panels did not fit. All the other panels did. It was the top panel that you did not fit. Where the hell did I put it, gang? Where did I set it? I want to show you LTX. Oh, here it is, right here on the printer. It is 6 mils. It is 6 mils too big this direction. So from top to bottom this way, it is 6 mils too big. I'm going to get some sandpaper and fix that. The bottom panel was fine, and if the top panel and bottom panel were the same size, it would have worked out great. But the side panels fit perfect. The bottom panel went in fine. It's just that top panel, man, that you did all the extra work on. It was a little too big. I'm going to get some sandpaper and sand that down. But there's one side panel. There's the other side panel, bottom panel. So there you go, my man. All is well. But I'm going to get some sandpaper and work down a little bit on both sides. I'll take about 3 mils worth of sanding off. I don't have a laser, so I can't just, you know, and be done with it. But side to side is good on the long, but on here to here, it's a little bit too much, you know. The color looks like a good match. Yes, it does, good sir. The matte is nice. It works well with all the printed parts. I do love it myself personally. I like the little contrast between the shimmer and the gloss, but I'm also a matte black kind of guy, or a not real shiny black. Like, don't get me wrong, I like black with like glitter in it, but I don't like a gloss black myself. Table saw, okay. Run it through the table saw. I could very well, yeah. I'd only have to cut off about the thickness of the blade on both sides, and it should be fine. The school that I work at has a table saw. I'll see if they got a good blade, and maybe I'll tomorrow before work or tomorrow after work, I'll sneak in there and chop it down. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe that'll be my tomorrow project. Before or after work, I'll take this with me. I'll take this and throw it in the car so I have it with me, and then I'll take it into work with me so it doesn't sit in the car all night and get super hot, and we'll just buzz down the edges a little bit. But so, you know, LTX, that's it. So if you want to offer the panels up to anybody in the Lab Racks community, or if anyone in the Lab Racks community asks about somebody stateside that can do panels for them, I know a guy, and you have pretty much everything. Just make this, just knock 3 mils off the top and bottom on this direction, and you're good to go, man. It'll just pop right in there, because it was 6 mils too big, and it's almost, it's like I said, the bottom panel was perfect. So if nothing else, just however big the bottom panel is, make the top panel same size and just drop it over, cut it off, call it good. You know, Shrimp Daddy, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Oh, gang, I tell you, I've been kind of battling a bit of a rut. It's not a secret. I told you guys, I posted out there that, you know, mentally I've just been in a rough place. Which one is this one? Is this the sweet potato? Yeah, this is the sweet potato, which is La Potato New. And then this is the 3B Plus. So I'm going to take the 3B Plus off. And then for right now, I'm going to take the 3B Plus off. Of this one. I'm going to leave the other 5 in the house. I'm using it as a Cody box. Don't tell anybody. So I'm going to put the Raspberry Pi 3B and the Raspberry Pi 5 together on one, and have my 2 Raspberry Pis together. We can at least get these mounted up like so, because these do fit on here, no problem. My little stubby 2.5 mil screws. What is the purpose and why not just go for a full-size PC? Well, you can. It's more or less a matter of I wanted to, so that's why I did it. For me, there's no purpose of anything else. One nice thing, and I did point this out to my assistant today at work, with the Orange Pis, the nice part is if one of these was to die, since they're the same version, everything's on here, I can always pull the SD card out, plug it into another one, fire it up, and it'll run just the same. So hardware wise, if something breaks, these are cheaper than having to rebuild a whole new computer or buy parts and build out a new computer. You can just swap one of these out real quick, swap the SD card, you're back up and running in minutes versus potentially days or weeks to rebuild an actual server again. So there's that. But yeah, leave space for an SSD next to the Pi 5 so that you can run it much faster. Yeah, I mean, I've got all kinds of options for what I can and can't do in here. Nice part about it. What I'm thinking is, I'll explain. The 5-inch HDMI touch that they offer from Big Tree Tech, I asked them to send me one. I would like to mount that here, and then if it could have a couple of like 2.5 hard drive bays right here that could be slide in for whatever I want to connect them to, however I want to connect them, that would be cool. Because then I could have, I don't necessarily need all the Pi action I got going on in here. I really don't. Like the small SBC stuff, I don't need all of that. A bit overkill for really what I think I would do. I did ask Big Tree Tech to send me one of the 7-inch HDMI, or their 7-inch HDMI displays as well, but they sent me the 5-inch only. Because if they were to send me the 7-inch, I was actually going to do a 3U on the back. I was going to do a 3U on the back and put a 7-inch back here, connect that to what would be like the desktop Pi that I would run. So like when I go to events and stuff, I can have like a slicer running on that and all that stuff, and it would sit there. I can just take a wireless keyboard and mouse, plug it in, have a 7-inch display back here connected to the Raspberry Pi 5, because that would be the one I would most likely use as my everyday runner as a desktop replacement for on the go. Then I wouldn't have to keep taking my laptop out, setting it down, taking it out, setting it down, taking it out, setting it down. I could just leave this sitting on the table to show off what you can do with 3D printing and home lab stuff, and then have the 7-inch display with a keyboard and mouse sitting there on the desk. 7-inch display is not big. I have bad eyes, but it would work for this situation, you know, and I can, it's running Raspbian, which is Debian OS. So you can install a slicer, not the greatest, might take a while, but we could slice files on there and send them off to the printers in Orca Slicer. So that was kind of my thought. 7-inch or low stock, yeah. Down the road, I might pick up a 7-inch and still see about that. But I am seriously asking if any one of you is good at 3D design for parts like this. If you would take a 10-inch 2U and cut it out, and it could be like a 2-piece or like a 3-piece thing. I just held my hands out. I didn't make the gesture. Go back. Go back. But because what I thought is the way the screen mounts, there's the 4 screws on the back. So it'd be a cage piece that would hold those. And then you could just have the front panel piece have 4 screw holes. And you just run 4 screws in and just basically mount the screen to that, the back piece, and then screw the back piece to the front piece. That's what I was thinking, to make it easy to print. But if somebody else that does these kinds of designs knows better than I do, you know, you could do that. If it was like 2 pieces or 3 pieces, because I said maybe one side for each one, that you can just screw onto the back of the screen and then line them up with screw holes in the front, and then just screw it and make it so that the screen sits flush with the front of the panel. So if anybody could do something like that, because I can't, I'm not going to lie, I can't. I could learn it, but by the time I would learn it, somebody would already make it and have it out there. And if you did do that, I would greatly appreciate it if either A, you would put the files out there on the internet for everyone else, in case anybody else sees this and wants to do this, or allow me to put the files out there. It's a asking if you would like to donate your time and your skills, because I don't want to make money off it. I don't want to sell it. I mean, if you want to make money off it and sell it, feel free. I mean, it's your time, it's your stuff. But I would just ask that you let me print it and show it off. That's all. You've been buying 10-inch screens I'll have to take a look down under. Make send me anything. Send me a DM somewhere with like the screens you're getting, so I know what you're getting, and I'll take a look because I think I'm pretty sure a 10-inch screen would fit back here. And really, with me not going to be putting too much back here, just needing room to run some kind of power out, I want to keep one U open to try and figure out a power solution to run a bunch of pies. I'd like to figure out something, you know. But yeah, I mean, figure something out, you know. Slice a few at home and load them under USB. Yep, have it. We can. But I'm just thinking, like, if I go to an event or something and somebody's like, hey, could you print this for me real quick? If they don't have it sliced up for my printer, I could have a little computer, you know, like I said, use the Raspberry Pi 5 to do, you know, like add an event, like stuff. So that's my thought there. What do you think? Should I go pies, like raspberry, orange, Libre, and then leave this one open? Or should I go, like, what do you guys think? What do you think the layout should be? Starting in this port, what should we put here? Should we do keystones? I got like 4-port keystone I could put in there in the first one. I could do those here or all the way on the other end. What are you guys thinking? I'll ask you guys for some input here while we put this back together now. What do you guys think? My daughter, it's the fun one. Careful, I'm streaming, so make sure you are good, bro. Yeah, your ankle's swollen. Yep.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay, it's not. No, well, it's a little puffy right there. That's all. Anyways. Oh, you're going to steal some? Why don't you just take the whole thing? Go ahead. Steve Machado, good to see you, man.
I need you to fix the way that the truck's parked so I can take it to school tomorrow.
Because you don't know how to back out of the driveway.
Nope.
So your thing is you want me to pull it, you want me to back it in so you can just drive out.
Yeah, because I play this game in Mom's car of how close I can get to the tree.
Yeah, well, with the truck, you can just back straight across into Nana's driveway, pull out, and then turn around and back in. No. But you can probably just wait, and I'll get it before I go to bed.
Thanks. Gotta go ask Bob.
Oh, so you want me to do something before you talk to your brother?
He'll tell me yes.
I know he will, but still. Keystones separate from the Pi 4.5 because of heat. So what you're saying is do it's Pi 5 and a Pi 3B plus. So Pi 5, Pi 3B plus, then keystones. I didn't even make the gesture, camera. Stop it. So what you're saying though is like the Pi 5 and the 3B plus first, keystones, then go orange Pi. You can't do it, you can't drive it. Down under, I agree, but I also know that the saying is happy wife, happy life. This isn't a happy spouse, happy house kind of scenario. Just putting that out there, gang. My house is a happy wife, happy life kind of a thing. I'm actually going to go with the Pi 5 on the inside. Yeah, we're going to put the Pi 5 on the inside, not up against the edge. Not that I'm worried there is enough space there, but we're going to put the Pi 5 in. Yep. So there we go. We're going to put them in first, and then we'll do until I can get, like the orange pies will work on this bracket, but if I can't seem to find a orange pie bracket that will fit in the lab stack, I will probably hop in Tinkercad and just Tinkercad out the center, like this part here. I'll just Tinkercad this part out and just keep where the screws mount. You can see the little bumped up, raised up parts where the screws are at. I'll probably just keep that and just kind of hollow this part out a little bit because this is pretty rigid. So if I take this out, I should be okay, and then they should actually be able to get, you know, I should be able to put the NVMEs in there and be okay, I think. JPP, have fun, brother. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. It's good to see you, man. When you streaming next before you go? unless you're already gone. In which case, then I missed you. And does anybody know when he streams next? I'm going to do my best to try and make it to more streams again. Now that the school year has started and I have an assistant, I have a little more freedom during the day. I can load a stream and have some background noise while I'm at work. So anybody who streams while I'm at work, I should hopefully have some time to load you up as some background noise. You know, I know that some of my friends are not always the most like school appropriate, so I'll do my best to keep the volume down just in case. And then when students walk in, I can hit the old mute ski and quiet it down a little bit. Let's see here. This one has the sweet potato on it, so we're going to leave the sweet potato, and we're going to put the yeah, I know what I'm trying to say here. The Alta board. There we go. And we're going to put the Alta board in. So we're going to have the sweet potato and the Alta in here. So we're going to rock a sweet potato and an Alta, 2 Orange Pi 3Bs, and a Raspberry Pi 5 and a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus. So those will be the units, the devices that we are rocking in here. I did have to go with a little bit longer screw because with the Alta board, it does have the little NVMe hard drive, or the little NVMe drive, or eMMC drive. Jesus H, I can't even talk. You're not school friendly, Havoc? Yeah, I know, man. Remember, we've chatted before. Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, Havoc lives about 2.5, 3 hours north of me. Good dude. When you see him at an event, tell him hi. Shit. But yeah, so if you see him at an event, tell him hi. He's a good dude. Just like if you see me at an event, run and hide. Go the other direction. Hey, did you guys see that Jeremy got to like slime Keela? That was pretty awesome. Just putting that out there. I did see that. I didn't see the full video yet. I don't know if they released it on YouTube yet or not. I know they said they were going to, but it was on X. I saw it. So I'm glad he got to use his bucket truck for good. Don't tell Keela I said that. I don't want her mad at me. She's small, but she's mighty. Mighty scary. Oh. You're fluent in sailor with tradesman dialect and a sarcastic accent? Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. We dropped many a F-bomb at the truck stop that day. Good sir. Yes, we did. It is good to know that outside of my streams and my trying to be a little more family friendly, but not really, because, you know, I am who I am and I'm not going to really change that. But I do try to be at least a little nice when I stream. But my family, they don't care. They come out here and just, you know, F this, F that, so on and so forth. So you said Keystone's next. So then we'll skip and we'll put up the Alta board. No, Alta boards go on the end. That's right. And we're going to flip it and put the, there we go. The Libre boards go on the end. We're going to put the Orange Pis here. I'll see if they'll fit on there. They should. It should be okay. Quick for her size. That's the, yes. Quick and scary. Yes. But no, gang, I just want to kind of make it look more like what it's going to look like when all said and done. You know? So there we go. Get this one mounted in real quick. There's one screw. But, I mean, give me a second to finish this up. I'll grab that Big Tree Tech board, or the Big Tree Tech screen. I want to show you guys my thought process, okay? Because I don't know really what I would run on it. But that's the nice part. It's a screen. I can run whatever I really wanted to on there, you know? So we could run like little, I could have it set up to even just like stream, like run my YouTube streams, you know what I mean? On there, so as people walk by, they'll see it. Or I could even put like Michael's video on repeat of the lab racks being built, like his building of the lab racks thing. I could have that running on here. Okay, let's get this guy mounted up now. Per Down Under Maker, we're going to put the keystones next. The lab stack by Mr. Jared is a pretty sweet setup too. So if you do build one of these, no, he does have the lab stack mini stuff. It is pretty sweet. There is all kinds of different additions you can put in, like the jet KVM. It'd be kind of cool to get one of those to switch between the pies with. That'd be kind of cool, you know. Or not necessarily switch between, but you know. But there we go. I probably have that in upside down or backwards, who knows. But we'll fix it when we need to fix it. I'm just trying to get the get it visually pleasing, you know. Let's see, this one is the 8 gig. So when I put it in, I'm going to try and remember 8 gig I want to be to the left. So I'm going to try to remember 8 gig to the left. We'll see if I do. This might be easier to do if I put the screw in first on the end of the wrench. There we go. Just get a couple twists in there. See if we can at least get this part to sit. If the ass end stands off, it does. I might have to get some longer. I will have to get the longer screws to hold the back in, because again, you can see that is pressing the M.2 on there. Hey, Ron, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well, man. It is definitely good to have you here. We're putting some orange pies that they sent me on this bad boy, along with we were playing around with the panels that, uh-oh, we might run into a problem here because that screw, yeah, I don't know how the hell it worked on one side, but not on the other. But the screw that the M.2 connects to, or connects into, for the back part, will not go, or will it? It kind of works. It's putting a bit of flex on the board. I don't know how much I like that. But for some reason on this side it worked just fine. But on this side it's not working as well. Okay, well, let's try and put some screws in it and see if it'll hold. Bear with me a second here, gang, while I try to line this up and shoot it in there. Okay. Okay, it bit, but not very well. And yeah, it is way too much. Like, the one side's working just fine, but the other side is not happy at all. So I'm not sure what the difference is, but yeah, it doesn't want to hold very well. I'm going to put 2 screws in it just to hold it for now so we can mount it up, see how it looks. But yeah, so Aaron, LTX Designs in chat, made me some matte black acrylic panels to put on here. And yeah, we're just playing around with them a little bit tonight. I just wanted to get them installed. One of the panels is off a little bit, so I got to do some cutting. It's the top panel that has the fan, little fan mount that he did there. So I'm going to take 3 mils off the top and the bottom this way, and then I'll take it back. I'll take the back piece out, slide this in there, and then that'll sit on top. And then I just got to get a big old fan that'll run off, 5 volts, and I can just plug that in and it'll help pull some air up through. Which is funny because I need to reprint 2 more of this one so I can put them down here at the bottom so they can help pull the air up, because this is a solid base right here. This piece is a solid plate. So that'll help pull, but I mean, right now the back is going to be open. There's nothing here at the moment. Like I said, maybe we'll look at doing if I can get Big Tree Tech to send me a 7-inch down the road, put a 7-inch in here, or again, Down Under Maker, he says about a 10-inch. So if you send me a link and it's a decent 10-inch that'll fit across here, we can do a 10-inch mount and put a 10-inch display on the back, and then have it as like I said, as like some sort of a, we'll use the Raspberry Pi 5 as a desktop replacement for what we're doing. Okay, well, that's holding, so we're going to go ahead and just mount this bad boy up as it is. And again, we want the 8 gig version to the left. But Orange Pi sent me over an 8 gig and a 4 gig version of their 3B. So those are nice looking panels. Yes, I agree. LTX did a wonderful job. So LTX knows the modifications that need to be made. If anybody does print a LabRax and you print the standard 5U and you want panels, hit him up. He will, he can get them cut up for you and ship them out to you. And I'm sure charge you a very fair but reasonable rate. I mean, people got to make a living, man. People got to make a living. So, you know, pay a fair wage and don't throw a fit. That's what I say. And for us, it was I wanted panels, he could do it, and now he knows that they're good, all except for, you know, again, that top panel, but he knows the modification he needs to make to the file. So there you go. And if you wanted, you could always get 2 of the fan panels cut and put one in the base, one at the top. So keep that in mind, gang. So you could always print the fan panel twice and have one fan at the bottom sucking up and one fan at the top blowing out, if you wanted. But there we go. There's a more complete now with 2 Raspberry Pis, 4 Keystone, 2 of the Orange Pis, 2 of the Libre boards. We got a sweet potato and a Alta board. So there's the layout. There's the setup. That's what it's going to look like. But now let me show you what my thought was with the Pad 5. Hey, Aaron, you're here and you do 3D modeling. Maybe you can help me out with this, brother. Because you know I'm not good at it. I have ideas, but I don't have the ability. Big Tree Tech, HDMI V1.2. I need or would like a 2U for the 10-inch rack that could mount this to either one side or the other, or centered. If you do centered, what would be cool is to give, actually, if you take the LabStack Mini, you could almost do that and then leave a gap for whatever the LabStack Mini, 2U piece you want to put in there. So there's a thought. Just re-engineer this. But what I'm thinking is probably either a piece that will grab these 2 and will grab these 2. And then it can just mount from behind, and then there will be 4 screw holes in the front that will catch the ears that'll be coming off. You know what I mean? So basically 3D, like design a piece that will come off of these, come up and then over, so that this will sit flush with the front of the bracket. So, because it is touchscreen, HDMI, all that good jazz, and it'll sit flush. The only kicker is you do have the buttons up here to flip the screen and brighten and darken that. But this one, at least the HDMI and the USB-C come straight out. So they would go back into the rack. They wouldn't come off to the side. So that's nice. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, so basically this can be mounted, you know, whichever, like the buttons are here and the speaker is here, but you could flip it over if need be. But the 4 screw points should all be, I think, pretty square. If you could make an actual bracket that is just one solid piece that you can screw the screen to, and then just push it in from behind, and then put, like I said, 4 screws through the front to catch and suck it up into place. even if it did protrude a little bit, or was recessed in just a little bit. But yeah, so one bracket to mount the screen to, and then take a 2U, either redo the LabStack Mini here, which that is the HDMI, it's the Big Tree Tech HDMI 5 V1.2. So this is the one they sent. You can see the 3 buttons right here, the big old speaker right here, and then again the USB-C and the HDMI straight out the back. So there's the rear. Remember, if you're going to take this project on, good sir, to come back and watch. And then there's the front. You can see the black border or bezel around it. So really, you know, it would be cool. Like I said, if it could sit flush to the front when printed, that would be cool. But if it even sat recessed in a little bit or just protruded out, I'm not a picky guy. I just want the ability to actually incorporate this into this. And since, like I said, with the LabStack, if you use the LabStack Mini setup, these already drop in, and looking at it, the screws would be in the way. You know what I mean? So you'd have to build something or design something that could work with, you know, maybe the existing screws, or I say the hell with it, just design something yourself, good sir. 2U for the 10-inch rack. And if it goes to the side, what would be cool is the ability to either do like 2 hard drives, or hell, you could even stack 2.5s. You could probably stack 1, 2, 3, 4. You could make it with the option for like 4 hard drives, like 2.5-inch hard drives to be mounted in there, or even do like the keystones here, like I've got the 4 keystones, or make some kind of a module of your own that you can do interchangeable modules to go in this blank space on the side. Either have it with like a blank plate, or like the honeycomb pattern for airflow, or, you know, then you can have like a solid one with a honeycomb, and then make one that has a cutout for whatever modules you come up with for either mounting another Raspberry Pi in there. They have the step file on their GitHub. You will play with that model. Dude, that'd be sweet. And if you could do that for me, I asked earlier, you're here now. All I ask is that if you could do this and you want to charge for the files later, just send it to me so I can print it. We can show it off and make sure that it does work right. And then if you want to charge for the models, you're free to do that. If you don't want to do anything with the models and you don't care, then I'll post them up somewhere for people to go get them, as long as you're, again, okay with it. It will have the disclaimer, the models are not designed by me, but I do have, you know, your permission to post these for others to use. And, you know, please, you know, give credit where credit is due. But yeah. Okay, well, I'm streaming still. So if you're asking about homework or something right now, I am streaming.
I'm like begging you, I need help.
You are asking me about math. I don't math, honey. Simplify. Your answer should contain only positive what is that? Exponents?
Exponents? You not know what those
Exponent. I have no clue, sis. I have no clue, baby.
Well, we're gonna stop along.
Well, if I don't know and mom don't know, we're not dumb. We just never took crazy math.
This is sophomore math. I'm a junior.
And I took 2 + 2 = 4 math. I didn't take anything with a bruh in it or a list. Yeah. You never charge your beta testers. Well, thank you, Aaron. I greatly appreciate that. But yeah, so either way, you know, for a 2U, for a 10-inch rack, mount the Big Tree Tech HDMI 5 V1.2 right there on one side, or you can go middle and then have some space on either side for something. You know, somebody could flip it over if they wanted, and then they could mount it on the other side. So that's the nice part about this, is really, as long as everything is symmetric, they could just flip it over and put it on this side if they decide they want on this side, you know, so that's not a big deal. It's just, do you want to do this and then do one with like a center mount with some honeycombs on the sides, with some flat, like blank panels with nothing there? And then do you want to make it where they could put like something on this side or something on this side. Realistically, if I like realistically, something like that with 2 Raspberry Pis on one side, or two SBCs on one side, 2 SBCs on the other, and if that could fit in the middle, that would have been kind of cool. But because of space, it doesn't all fit. But that could be kind of cool too, because then you could have 4 devices with this mounted, or even if it was just 2 devices, and then, you know, this like this, and then you could have the 2 devices in there just to play around with. Yeah. But just tons of thoughts, tons of ideas, but a basic setup for now for this with that, and then I can just drop that in there and have whatever off to this side, or centered with some honeycomb action going on. Yeah, centered with some honeycomb action on either side, no matter what. Whatever you do, man, whatever you do. So it'll be cool. Get this thing mounted up in there. It'll have touch screens, so I can do some basic like touch stuff with it. And then again, plug in keyboard and mouse, and then be able to actually have more control. And then down the road, if I get one of those big old 10-inch ones, we can mount that on the back and plug that into the Pi 5, Raspberry Pi 5, and have a 10-inch display back here with USB keyboard. And then on the desk, when I go to events and stuff, this could be sitting, so as people walk by in the front, they see this, and then in the rear, I'm sitting at the table with a keyboard and mouse back here working on something using the Raspberry Pi that's in the front. Just a thought. And then this can become my, you know, take to events thing. Get my hands on some Starlink, or, you know, maybe a nice mobile, like a mobile hotspot of some sort that I can connect and link the devices together through one of the Pis or one of the devices could be running like a OpenWRT router software, and, you know, plug in a USB modem to the front, USB, you know, cellular modem to the front, and then share the Wi-Fi out as my Wi-Fi network, and then have the network port come into the switch, and then have it run networked to all of these. And then at an event, as long as I've got a decent cell signal, I've got a mobile rack that can just kind of run everything for me. So that'd be cool. What's the name of the rack? Labrax. Labrax. Michael Clements. Give me just a second here. Let me grab his YouTube channel and copy. Hey, Aaron, there you go, brother. Again, me building the Labrax was not a slap in the face at Mandic, really. Alan is a good dude. His setup is sweet, but aesthetically, I liked the look of this one better. That was why I went with this one. You guys know that. I have this thing for, like, my ADHD says aesthetically pleasing stuff. This one does have the Labrax one here, but I am thinking I'm going to replace the Labrax one with another one of these style ones without the Labrax in it. I'll do one on the front, one on the back, or I've got the one on the back, and then do 2 more for the bottom. So I'll replace those with that. And so I'll have 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top, allow for better airflow, especially if I'm going to put a screen here. It'll be nice to be able to pull some air up through the front and back. And if I put a big old 10-inch screen back here, if I put a big old 10-inch screen back there at some point, I'll need it. But I do need to order, and I'll probably order them tomorrow, since tomorrow is payday. I'll make a $6 purchase on Ali and order the M6 heat inserts that are required for this one. He does have a version of this that does use the like nuts instead of M6 heat inserts, but I did the M6 heat insert one. So I'll order some more, and then I will fill the back with them so that I have that. Plus, I did skip every other one in the front, so realistically, I could redo, or I could take everything off the front and then put in the ones that I missed in the front as well. You can kind of see back here, a little hard to see, but like right here is a screw, there's a screw, and those are some brass, the brass M6 heat inserts. So But yeah, it's pretty sweet. I should have did a 10U. I'm not going to lie. I should have did a 10U because he does make an adapter that will join two of these longer ones together. If I did a 10U, then, you know, poor LTX would have had to have made much longer panels for the 10U. And then there's also the 3U extension. But, you know, because even at 10U, you're talking basically double this. So this here. So that's just the rack portion of it. And then you'd still have this much on the top. You know, so way up there. Hey, Ron, have you noticed the stream is a bit better, less glitchy, less issues? There's a reason for that, mister. I am saving $70 to $80 a month right now, probably closer to $80 a month right now. And I switched to Surf Fiber Internet, 2 gig symmetric to my house. Granted, everything in my house is 1 gig, so we're not really, we have like a gig of overhead on our internet because nothing in my house is 2 gig right now. But yeah, less potato vision. I turned the camera up to full 4K 30 out. The stream is still only 1080 60 because for some reason OBS won't let me stream out higher than 1080 60. I think it's because of the screens that I'm using are only 1080 screens. So my screens won't go better than 1080. But that screen, I believe, is 4K back there. I'm going to hook that one up in place of, I think, this one. And then I'll put this one back there. And then I'll have this one that I can hopefully convince the OBS to allow me, you know, 4K. And then I should be able to hopefully stream out higher than that. I hope. If not, we'll figure something out. But yeah, so there's that. But again, yeah, I've been streaming for 1 hour and 23 minutes. We've got panels in. If I had a way to trim this down, I would do that tonight, and we would put this in, and then we'd have the full setup with this guy right here just looking all awesome on top. And then that'll be the full thing. We just need to get a 5-volt USB, I forget, I think it's a 120. I think it's a 120. I could be wrong. I could take a tape measure and measure it, but I'll figure it out. But yeah, and then we have a fan on top to help pull some air up through. And like I said, I'll print more of the vented ones to put down here, and then we'll have vented ones down low. Boom, looks 120-ish. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Looks 120-ish, 120-esque. Let's see. I got the tape measure right here. It goes off the screw hole mounts, right? Looks like 110. Or one, it says, yeah, 110-ish. But yeah. So 110-ish. 110-ish. But yeah. So I'll find a fan that fits that. That'll do USB 5-volt or just 5-volt in general, because then I can just plug that into one of the Pi's 5-volt headers. One of the devices, they're Pi's and not Pi's, because 4 of them are Pi's, 2 of them are orange, 2 of them are raspberry. But the fun part will be once everything's finally done and I get everything kind of mounted in here, then it'll be a lot of like cap card, let's set up one of these devices to do something, and then we'll have streams doing that. The Cobra, at some point we'll play around with that and do some multicolor stuff. I've only done a couple prints. I have not printed a lot, guys. Like I said, mentally I've been trying to dig through some demons. We're getting there. We are getting there. Still off. I know you guys can see it, but I wanted to show off LTX's panels tonight. I wanted to show you guys that Orange Pi sent me out the boards. And of course, I needed to talk about the good old Centauri Carbon back there. thank you again to these guys right here for that. Yes, thank you to these guys for sending me this. Yes, we're gonna print. I'm gonna print the parts I need. These pieces I'll print because I'm gonna reprint this one because the lab racks I didn't do multicolor, and I'm not gonna play around on that thing just yet. I'm still wanting to play around with that thing more. So I'm gonna load something in there, or maybe we'll throw them on the Magneto because they did send me some pretty high grade crap. For those who missed it. Need to learn the reasoning behind the home lab fab. Havoc, there's no reason. Like I said, there's no reason. It's just set it up however you want to do whatever you want. If you have the stuff, make the thing happen. Yeah. I could ultimately set up one of them to be a what am I thinking? What's the name of the program? For monitoring all your home equipment and stuff and all that. What are they? Anyway, I can have one set up for that. I can't even think of the name of it now. Like, wow, guys, that's what I'm telling you. My brain is toasted. But could set up one for that and have it running Home Assistant. Thank you, AA Ron. That's what I was trying to say. Home Assistant, Mike or Viking. Thank you. But that's where my brain, like I said, guys, my brain is completely fucked. There's my F-bomb. But yeah, so like I can run Home Assistant on one of these. So one of these things could run Home Assistant. One of them could be like a little portable desktop alternative when I'm out running around. Stuff like that. But yeah. So again, we have a La Potato here. We have the Renegade. We have the Tritium. So we have a Tritium. And then we have the Farit, aka the Fry. So we have a Farit with a 16 gig eMMC on it. Like I said, I've got a bunch of Libre boards, you know. One thing I also have, but it's not going to have enough output, is I have this lovely little 5-volt power supply here. 5-volt 25, right? Or 5 volts 5 amp, it says. So it's only a 5-volt 5 amp power supply. Would be kind of cool is if I could find one of these big enough to run enough power to run all of these, and then that could be mounted in like the very bottom. And then on the back here, do like a standard 3-pin power with a switch like we use on our printers. And then have that just wired in, sitting in the bottom here. And then have that be able to power, you know, have it have enough power to power all the pies so that when I flip them on, they all spin up. And then, like I said, have a big old 10-inch display back here. Or a 7-inch display, but a 10-inch display would be kind of nice if there was enough room to do the power. And then you go to an event or something and it's just plug in a power cord with a power switch, big old screen. Then again, keyboard and mouse that I can have with me to do stuff. I got a wireless keyboard and mouse I can pack in the bag. Grab this in one hand, take the bag with the laptop too, because sometimes you just need the laptop. Have the laptop and then this. Take this as for the entire event, slap it on the table, show off what 3D printing and home networking can do, or like little home lab stuff can do. I do want to get a different switch that has 8 ports in it instead of 5. Stupid camera. Quit auto zooming. But anyway, so it'd be nice to have one that does have, you know, 8 ports in it instead. That way I can feed, you know, these 6 devices here plus couple other things. Have one as like an uplink for whichever one would be having the cellular modem connected to it. 5-volt 10 amp power supply on Amazon for 15 bucks. 5-volt 10 amp. That would be enough to power 2 5-volt 10 amp because they should be 5-volt 5 amp. So it should be enough to power 2. So you need 3 of those. Yeah. I'll take them. I'll have to check it out, Ron. But even if, something like this, I had to like stack 3 of them. You know what I mean? Still wouldn't be bad because you can just stack 3 of them, put some Wagos in there, and then just little double-sided tape them down, or get the bolt pattern here and then have my good friend the drill make a couple of holes so I can run some screws through the bottom to mount them down to the bottom plate. That'd be kind of cool. And then, like I said, just mount those down to the bottom plate, have a power switch and some Wagos, and then boom, 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 those there, and then run wires up and just kind of run them off to the side, plug it in, plug it in, plug it in. And then, of course, the only kicker is going to be the power for the switch. I did think get an 8-port PoE switch and then just plug in the switch if the switch has enough power out through the PoE to power each one of them. But the PoE hats shouldn't get in the way of one another with this design. So you could potentially do PoE hats and then just do a PoE switch, you know. Do they make a UPS that small? Boy, don't I wish. Don't I wish. I know Jeff Geerling on his channel was looking at some stuff. I think he found some kind of a solution for a small PoE or UPS. I forget what he ended up doing, but I think he found like a battery backup that could power and charge at the same time, so that when he goes places, he can just plug it in and it'll run off the wall. And then when he unplugs it, it'll kick over to the battery. But yeah. Oh, so what's new, gang? Like I've mumbled for a while, but what's new with everybody else? Like, what do you guys all got going on? Love my wife, love my daughters. I'm told I'm safer out here right now, so keep me entertained. What's new? What's new with you guys? How is your lives? I should probably see. Oh, I know what I got on the Magneto. Is the Magneto feeling printable though? Let's take a look and see. We'll give the Magneto a reboot, and then we'll see if we can reprint 3 of these without the lab racks, just the honeycomb pattern for airflow. You need to feed the fam, Ron. All right, brother, have fun with that. Yeah, if you decide to work on that, cool, let me know. Just Discord's probably gonna be your best way to send me anything. With that being said, you and the family have a wonderful evening. Hope you guys enjoy one another's company. I'll probably be going in to brave my young ladies here in just a little bit. Let's switch printers. Oh, wonderful. Logged me out. Dadgummit. Let me make sure I'm on the right account when I log in. Crap. I hope I remember my password. Oh, jumping Jiminy's. That wasn't it. That wasn't it either. All right, well, let's close that. Click on this one. Click log in. Click on this one. And there we go. All right. Well, it logged me in that way. So let's go back to this and see if it has my printers in there now. Anycubic, Magneto, Pandora's Box, Elegoo Centauri Carbon. There we go. Let's click on the Magneto. Let's go to device. Why is it not seeing the Magneto? Oh, because I think the IP address changed. Yes, the IP address changed on the Magneto. Dadgummit, I gotta go look up the IP address. You know, I have the Magneto turned off. Let me look. Let's move some stuff real quick here. Make some space. Actually, put you there. move this box of network cable. That's got to go in the house so we can rewire the house. And let's put this big old thing. Oh, goddamn. Oh, that hurt. Oh, I'm getting old, gang. I'm getting old. Let's see. Okay, that came up. Let's go back here. Go to configure network. No, that is the IP address of it. Weird. Okay. Well, system. Restart. Printer. Let it restart. We'll let it restart and we'll see what happens. Oh, crap. Yeah, it needs to reboot because I forgot the IP addresses in my house changed because we changed internet service provider. So the printers need to be rebooted to get the new IP addresses that they'll need. Duh. So yeah, that is a bit of a oopsie on my part. Shite. Well, we'll let it reboot, get a new IP address, and then we'll know what it is. Oh, and I gotta recheck this guy too, because this guy should have a new IP address as well. Network. Yep, let's turn off the Wi-Fi. Turn back on the Wi-Fi. And let's see what new IP address we get. All right, cool. New IP addresses all around. What do you got for an IP address now? Configure, network. Yay, all right. New IP addresses, it's new IP day. New IP day. Now let's test. Working correctly. That is that one, right? Yep, that one's 6, that one's 7. All right. Click OK. Now we go to device. Now it loads. There we go. Make sure that build plate's cleaned off, but let's go back here real quick. Drop down. Let's find the Centauri Carbon. Change the IP on that one. And it's working with Centauri Link or Elugu Link, not Centauri Link. They missed the freaking mark on that one. They should call it Centauri Link. That's just me though. What do I know? Okay, so let's go back to the Magneto X. It was rebooted. Let's go into the desktop or into the lab racks. And let's find the one you vented plate. No, we want the edges vented. Oh, give me a second, guys. I got to mute. I'm streaming, but my daughter is calling, so bear with me. All right, I'm back. Yeah, the little shithead wanted to call me and brag about the fact that she did dishes tonight for her mom. Are you trying to give me a heart attack? Okay, I'm debating on which way to slice these because they have the honeycomb pattern. I think I'm going to do an outside brim just to guarantee a little better, like, little better bondage. And I'm printing them in PPA CF because why not? It's already loaded on the printer. Might as well. We got to test that stuff out for them anyway and show it off to you guys. And what better way to say their stuff works than to print some parts in it? Hopefully, as long as the printer wants to cooperate this time. Let's get this big old build plate out of here and clean it off real quick. Oh, oh man, this thing's massive. A little bit of stringy dingy here. I got this box of network cable now in my way. Okay, little build plate. Little build plate. Takes up a little space. There we go. And grab our microfiber. I need to get some more microfibers. Maybe tomorrow or this weekend or something, I'll take a trip to Horrible Freight and pick me up some more microfibers, huh? Okay. I think we're good. Let's see what happens. See if we can get these to print tonight. And then tomorrow have the 4 vented panels to put on there. And since this stuff likes to print with heat, okay, we'll close that off. And we'll send these bad boys. You guys want to see what they look like? You guys want to see them? You guys want me to share my screen so you guys can kind of see it? Look at that. Would you just look at it? It fits 3 of them. I could print like 5 of them, maybe more, if the printer will work. But there we go. All right, let's go ahead and print. Upload and print. There's a warning, slicing models, top edge, floating, yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. Send it anyway. It'll print. It didn't switch to the device mode though. So let's go here. All right, let's move the empty spool box under there. And let's move the filament or there we go, network cable over there. So now we just have to wait for this thing to heat the build plate up to 80°C. I should have preheated. I should have preheated the oven, gang. Webcam. Does have a decent camera in it. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it is a good camera. So, but while it's preheating, there's not much to see. It's not going to move. It's not going to do anything. Probably should have homed it first and let it run its thing, but it'll do all that. I hope. We'll find out. So, yeah. So the plan is we'll reprint these. We'll reprint this one and then 2 more for the bottoms. I will attempt to remember and hopefully be able to cut down the panel tomorrow. Throw a little blue painter's tape on the edge and knock off 3 mils on both sides, and then come home and pray that we do it right. And then hopefully those will be done in the morning. Hopefully it'll print right tonight, because that thing does tend to have problems with wanting to print. So let's just, for giggles, prep the Centauri carbon. Transfer all that over. And then, of course, they're all too big to fit on the Centauri carbon's build plate. So we're only going to be able to do one at a time. So let's delete off 2 of them, grab 1, center it. Why did you arrange it that way, you silly, silly goose? Okay. Oh, no. Click on that. Rotate part. There we go. And then should be good there. There we go. So if need be, we can fit it on the Centauri Carbon like so, and then we'll just print it in something else. What else do I have? I don't do PLA. I do have some more of the PETG or PET. Yeah, PETG CF. And then I have the PET CF. We could print it in either one of those in black. So we can print them in one or the other. I do need to swap out the filament that's in the carbon. So let's do that. Are you guys still like hanging out with me and watching? Like, is there still people here? I'm just curious. If you are, just give me a shut up in chat or something. I know I'm boring and I know there's more entertaining people out there. So I do thank you guys for wasting any of your time with me. So I thank you for that. 13 watching according to YouTube. Cody, what's going on, Cody? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope life's treating you better than a swift kick in the nuts. I don't like those. So hopefully life's treating you better than that. Anyway, let's swap out some filament on the carbon while we're waiting. So let's go back here. Go here, go to extruder, go to unload. Let's take the ASA out. I have had some issues with the ASA, but I think it's probably because the ASA is damp. So I'm going to dry it. Speaking of, I have some ASA in the dryer. And we're going to throw some more in there since I have room. So when this one's done, I'm going to take the 2 of them, put them in the dryer together, fire the dryer up, let it do its thing. If anybody wants to know why I don't care for like units that do like the ACE or AMS or anything like that, this is why, right here. This is only a couple of prints, and there's that much, like, that much waste from just a couple of prints. That's why I like tool heads, like tool changers. A lot less waste. But if I print more than one of something at a time, that waste is negligible compared to what I would get off of the printer. Would be. That's why I do like tool changers, no lie. I don't like the amount of waste that they give off, but I had an opportunity to get that printer, so I took the opportunity and got the printer. Because I wanted to at least try one of the Anycubics with their ACE just to see what it was like. I only printed, like I said, a couple things. Wasn't the greatest, but you know, it is what it is. Killed your SV08's power supply? Shit, man, that sucks. But it's pretty popular, so it's probably not that hard to find one. Unless Sovel's going to replace it for you for the low, low price of $3.99. That'd be awesome, but I doubt it because Sovel. However, can't badmouth Sovel. Their SV08s are pretty rock solid for what they are. You know, they are pretty nice. I'm never going to tell any of you guys how to spend your own damn money. That's your money. You spend it how you see fit. I am far from a perfect example of how to spend money, so don't listen to me. Spend your money how you see fit to do so. We do have some more projects too for the future. Hopefully the near future, now that I'm kind of back into doing this. Hopefully. You know, we're going to build... we've got a Happy Turtle lettuce feeder. And we have a MMU, like a third-party MMU kit that is sponsored by Fabrico as well, that we can build and 12 hours, baby. I need to get a better need to get a better filament dryer. If anybody wants to sponsor a poly dryer or something better, hit me up. I'm more than happy to put a logo for your shit on here. Nope, got a Meanwhile off Amazon. Be here in the AM. Hell yeah, there you go, man. There you go. Go with the Meanwhiles. They're good. You need another Ace Pro so that you can do 8 colors. Havoc, yeah, I should get another one too so I can do 8 colors. I don't have an S1, but the guy that I got this from has 3 S1s and he doesn't care for them. I know you have really good luck with it, and I did tell him, I said, I have a friend who's got an S1. He's had really good luck with his. He loves his. And he said, yeah, I've had nothing but problems with mine. So he's got 3 of them and had nothing but problems with them. It's just the luck of the draw. Some might say user error. I don't know. Say picnic. For those in IT that know what a picnic error is. Problem in chair, not in computer. We're going to do the red and gold. We're going to do the red and gold Phylaxics. Yep. Because we're going to print a dragon. That little crystal dragon, the baby crystal. We're going to do one of those for my wife. And then possibly one for her friend. Her friend wants something in blue. I'm going to see if I can get Phylaxics to send me some more of their filament. Because I am liking this stuff and it is printing really nice. So I think it would be cool to possibly get my hands on some more colors. Like I think they have a silver to blue. If not, the price is right. I'll just buy some. It's like 17, 18 bucks. And then you can get the dual silks for like 20 bucks for a spool. Not a bad price. Get them on Amazon. I get no kickbacks for it. But if you guys are interested, I'll drop a link for you. Let me go look it up real quick here. Give me just a second. Amazon.com. Relax. Fix. Filament. There it is. That's their PAHTCF. That's 70 bucks. Silk Rainbow, $17.99. You pay $14.39 right now with a coupon here. Yeah, you can get a coupon price, $14.39 right now for silk filament. This is Silk Rainbow. Let me get you guys the link if you're interested. Copy. Oh, I do get a commission on this one now, it says. Cool. Well, let's paste it in there. Phylaxic filament. And I will make sure I put AF link so I don't mislead any of you. There's an affiliate link to Amazon for Phylaxics filament. If you click that, you use that, you buy some filament, I get 3% commission. So pennies, I get pennies. But I'll take them if you want to give me the kickback. $17.99 for the rainbow silk. They have the blue to purple. They have the blue to green. There's the blue to silver. So there's their blue to silver, which I'll probably get that one. So $16.99 for the blue silver co-extrusion. So yeah, probably get that one. I mean, everybody gets to splurge a little bit on payday, right? We all get like some dumb money that we do something dumb, make a poor financial decision, a couple rolls of filament. I'm liking the Phylaxic stuff, and the price is right. And the spools are pretty awesome. I don't know if anybody's a spool person or not, but I do like the spools. Did you see the spool? If not, here, let me grab a different one. Here's the gold. Here's the gold. Look, there's the filament, there's the spool. And it's like a cardboard spool, but it's AMS friendly. It's got like the coated edge so that it rides in the AMS better. But yeah, so my experiences with it have been great. Your mileage may vary. They sent it to me for free. I printed some stuff and showed it off. If you guys like it, want to use it, feel free. Not putting it out there that you have to, just saying if you want to. Your Central 3D ABS. I've been using the Central 3D ABS Plus in green. That's what I printed the parts for the Centauri in. And I printed them on the Centauri in this lovely stuff right here from Central 3D ABS Plus. And this stuff is very reasonably priced as well. It comes on plastic spools, so you don't have to worry about AMS issues. So there's that. So yeah, I have been playing around with a couple of different filaments now. Like I said, Peel Poly sent me some of theirs. Their PPACF, which is what's loaded in there now, and we're gonna try it out. But yeah, the blue silver though, I'm probably gonna get that one, and I'll print a dragon in the blue to silver. Blue to green, it's always a good option. Blue to purple, I do like the red to black, but I know that originally Akuma Mods had a red to black or red and black co-extrusion. So I don't know if this is kind of like pulling from his pocket if they did something like that. But yeah, so purchase price, save $3.40. Let's add this to cart real quick. I'm not going to buy this right now. Like I said, payday is not for a little while yet. But then let's go back to shopping. Let's see if the coupon applies to every roll that we buy, because that would be pretty cool, right? Grab the blue to red, I believe it is, right? Blue to red. Yeah, red to blue. All right, and add that one to cart. And then let's go back and look at the blue to green as well. Let's add that one in there too. And then that's 3 spools of filament. Let's go to cart real quick. It says $52. Coupon clipped, coupon clipped, coupon clipped, 20% off. So yeah, the clipped coupon applied to all the rolls. So it's like every roll you buy right now, you get the coupon on it. Nice. Proceed to checkout. Oh, it's gonna make me sign in. Click next. Shit. Did I get that right? We gonna find out. I think I did. I did. Yeah, I saved $10.59, $45.03 for 3 spools. Not terrible. So if anybody wants to buy some of that Flaxic stuff right now, you can do that and then get the discount. So there you go, guys. It does work if you want to get it. I'm not showing you my screen because info is none your business. But yeah, so 3 rolls would be less than $50. It's not terrible. Cool. Well, it's in the cart. We'll deal with it later. We're not going to get it now because can't do it now. Payday's tomorrow. I'm pretty sure payday is tomorrow. I'm pretty sure my check didn't show up right now. I'm looking. I'd hate to find out that my check is in the bank and then I ordered a filament now. We're going to look though. Don't tell nobody I'm looking. We're going to try some PPS CF. That could be fun. Yeah. Let's go back and look and see if the magneto kicked up yet. Transfer. And then let's go to device, and nope, still not printing. As a matter of fact, it errored out on triggered on full movement. So let's home all real quick. Does home. And we homed. So there's that. X triggered on full movement. I don't know why it would, but all right, let's go back to dashboard. Let's go ahead and try to reprint the job now that we homed. Well, let's see what happens. Let's see if this thing will actually print. It's been giving me a lot of issues. So worst case, like I said, I'll load the PETG CF in the carbon. But I do want to get the dragon started in the carbon for the misses. So let me do that real quick. So that if nothing else, I'll just have to wait. Because I want to get the dragon done for Mama. Because Mama needs it. Click here, click here. This should be PLA, right? Yeah, that's PLA. And print. There we go. All right. PLA is loaded. Print time. See if we get lucky and the Magneto will start printing too. We're going to have two printers going, and I haven't printed in a while, so it'd be nice to have two printers going. But gang, I thank you guys for hanging out with me. Like, we're at the 2-hour mark where I normally cut it. I'm going to stream for a little while longer, and then I'm going to go in and go to bed because I have to get up and go to work in the morning. Plus, if I'm sleeping, I'm not thinking about is my paycheck in yet. You know? That's always a pain in the butt when you're worried about, is my check in yet? Is my check in yet? Is my check in yet? Because as soon as I get paid, I get broke. Anybody else have that problem? As soon as you get paid, you get broke? Can you guys see the lights flashing or flickering in here with the Magneto heating up? I need to switch my lights to their own circuit. Or run an outlet just for the Magneto. Run a circuit just for the Magneto. I got a 20 amp breaker sitting over there in the panel. I can just run a line over to it and put a box in the wall and just plug the Magneto directly into that so that it stops causing my lights to flicker, because everything else runs just fine. It's just the damn Magneto. It pulls so much power to heat that big ass bed. I forget this PPA CF requires 310C to print. So yeah. However, I will have some pretty nice parts when all's said and done. I did print, for those who are wondering, I did print one of these in PPA CF. One of these is printed in ASA, and I think, if I remember right, this is the PPA CF right here. So this is actually printed in the PPA CF. I've got to mount, I got to put some M3 by 4 by 5s in these. And then I can replace this one with this one. Or realistically, put in a second one. Depending on what screen we get, I can put the second one in the rear and then run more in the back if I really wanted. I went silly and printed a couple of different ones just to kind of show really what the material looked like, and this was a decent functional part. Figured why not. And then I had printed another one of the little honeycomb grills, the 1U. Because originally I did have 3 of these in here, and I had a different, I had this one mounted in there for the pies. Greetings, Tripod. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. But I did have one of these printed. If you guys remember, originally we had three SBC devices in there like this, which this one's not terrible. It works pretty good. And really, if I only want to put 3 in, I could just use this again. And then I would have a 1U panel to stick in there. But yeah, it's good to see you, Tripod. I hope you and the missus are having a good time, doing well. Things are going well for you guys. Always wishing good things to people. Yeah. All right, let's see. It is starting to print. So there we go. We just needed to home before we started. So let's see if it'll actually print good. Let's go look and make sure that first layer is going down well. All right, second spin going around, looking good. Now we'll close this so the heat can stay trapped inside. That is, again, PPACF. We are printing on the Magneto. The Magneto. We do need to update some stuff because I'm pretty sure that camera is not going to work. So we got to go update that. So let's unlock a few things here real quick, like this guy. Since we went 4K now because we can on the camera. And then let's go to the Magneto properties and update this. There we go. There's the Magneto. And while we're at it, let's go to the carbon and let's update this one. I'm doing it live. Don't care. We're doing it live. Bring this up. And then click here and shrink this down. And then click here. Oh, whoops. Click here. Properties. There we go. And then there is the Centauri printing, proudly sponsored by Fabrico. Fabrico, Fabrico, Fabrico. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. And then the FL Sun is no longer existing, so we can actually delete this one out. So let's remove that one. Boom. But there we go. So now we have the Magneto printing and curling. So we're not getting good adhesion, gang. It is, yeah, it is looking like mad dookie. So cancel print. That is looking like mad hot garbage. Main menu, home all, get it the hell away. I hate when you cancel that it doesn't actually cancel. And let's see. Yeah, that did not print well. Probably need to dry this stuff is my guess, because I left it open air for a while. Yeah, that first layer looks like it's a bit close. Maybe I should have moved the first layer up because it definitely looked like it drug a bit. See, let me go back to this one. And hold on. Let's get the camera to quit moving. There, this is the layer that was against the nozzle. It definitely looks like it's pushing a bit close. I mean, yeah, not looking good. Dan Adams, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope life's treating you better than a swift kick in the nuts. I'm glad my life is getting better. Things are going well. A lot of the stresses I had over the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks have been slowly going away. Have been going away, and life is getting back to a more normal state where here I am tonight. So it's good to see you guys. Again, for those who don't know, my internet speed in my home has increased quite a bit, so much so that the camera is now, this camera is now set in 4K 30. The stream itself, I think, is still, like I said, only in 1080. But hopefully this ugly face has more detail. Yes, come here. Come here. Hopefully this ugly face has more detail now. But, you know, so I'm wanting to get back into the swing of the 3D printing thing. And yeah, since we've got the dragon going for the misses, when the dragon is done, I'll load the PETG CF in the carbon, and I'll just print those panels one at a time. You guys can see a dragon going there. Again, that is the Flaxix red and gold, printing a Cinderwing baby crystal dragon for my loving missus. I gave her one in gold and one in silver, and now we're printing one in red and gold. I did add to the cart on Amazon a couple more rolls of that stuff because the price is right. Can't complain. And it prints nice. I do love that DeWitt has got his hands on the Airy One X400 and has been printing with it like crazy. Looks like an awesome printer, just not in my budget. Yeah, I am doing better. Like I said, tomorrow is payday. I may make a poor financial decision of about $46 for 3 rolls of that Flaxix filament. I had other aspirations, but I have a young daughter who is in volleyball and needs new volleyball shoes, new spandex, some new insoles for her poor ankles. And yeah, so I'm gonna basically take, you know, what we got and make sure she's got what she needs first. Um, and then pay a couple bills, because got to pay your bills. Sadly, when you become an adult, you have bills to pay. Fill the tanks of gas, or fill the tanks with gas, so that everybody has fuel in their vehicles to get them where they need to go. And yeah, then if there's a little bit of money's left over, I will get me my I'll get me a couple more rolls of filament, the Flaxix filament. Check it out. See how the other colors print, because like I said, blue and silver, blue and green, blue and red. We'll add those to the mix, the co-extrusions. They do have other types of filament as well. But the 3 rolls I originally got were given to me. So to go back to the total transparency, first off, just so you all know, Orange Pi sent me a 8 gig and a 4 gig 3B. They sent those to me for use in here to show you guys. Big Tree Tech sent me the HDMI 5 V1.2 to put into this project. Flaxix sent me 3 rolls of their filament to check out, show off, and tell you guys about. So I did. Polymaker, as usual, sponsors filament giveaways. This is my first night back. I'm not doing a giveaway tonight. Apologies to anybody who thought there might be. There is not. And other than that, what else is there that is kind of new to talk about? We got those. Oh, LTX printed cut the panels for my kit. We do have to make a modification to this panel, because this panel is 6 mils too big. So we're going to take 3 mils off the top, 3 mils off the bottom, and then this panel will go right here in the top. So right there in the top will be this panel with the little fan cutout and the little MakerMind Nexus logo etched in. So there will be that. So LTX does, if anybody wants to build one of these, LTX does have the information to cut panels. So if you want panels, hit up LTX Designs and get some panels. Again, the panels were made for me because I asked and he said he would. No money has exchanged hands, and no money will ever exchange hands unless he wants to pay cash money to sponsor on the channel. But I will always shout you guys out in all your adventures. If you want to give me money, I'll still continue to shout you out. Otherwise, I'll just shout you out. So I would make more money that way if I actually said, if you want to advertise, it costs money to do that. I would make more money doing that, but then that would take away from the fact that I want to support you guys. I don't want to reach into your pockets. If you want to reach into your own pockets and give, feel free. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo down below, as well as gifting memberships is always a good one, or becoming a member, that's always a good one. If you feel the need to do like a super sticker or super chat, feel free to do so. But I would prefer you gift a membership to someone, gives back to someone in the community. And hopefully now that I have an assistant at work and things are calming down at home, we're going to start working on like members only streams where we're going to build things that are like members only builds. Like either a happy turtle. We can always do a happy turtle, which, speaking of, the happy turtle does have Havoc. I don't know if you're still around, but I printed this in the PPA CF. So I did print the lid in the black PPA CF, which is way overkill, like way overkill. And the first layer did not go down very good on this one, but it went down well enough that I don't care. But it went down well enough that I don't care. So, but yeah, so we've got what is believed to be all the parts we need here from Triangle Labs to build a turtle, a happy turtle, that is feeder, as well as from my loving friends over at Fabrico. They asked me to beta this little MMU kit from 3D Coded XYZ. They asked me if I would beta test this. Speaking of, I have some fruit snacks here. Maybe we'll snack on some fruit snacks. But this has all the parts needed in here, including, it comes with a Pico. So there's an SKR Pico in here. All of the PTFE tubing, fittings, wiring. There's a box with power supply in it. There are four of the Bondtech clones. There's also four of the BQ 42, 40, 36Z, 24B stepper motors. So there's four of these from BQ. Cables, screws. And then there is a buttload of 3D printed parts we need to go get, download, and print. And I was going to print those in the PPA CF, but like I said, the Magneto is being kind of stubborn. So maybe we'll do those in an ASA on the Centauri Carbon instead. And by maybe, I mean we will. We'll load some sort of an ABS or ASA, or maybe I'll hit up Central 3D and see if they want to sponsor some ABS Plus for the kit. That's 3MS kit. Looks interesting. Yeah. Yeah. It's all crazy, the stuff I have here now. I went from not having any multi-material unit printers to the same time I made the deal with the guy for this, and I made the deal with Havoc for that, and then Shammy said, hey, you want to check out this for us and beta? And I was like, yeah, sure. So we have all kinds of stuff that we can do. It's all kinds of stuff we can do for like members only streams. So we'll do members only stream and probably build one of them. And then we can kind of show it off on a stream and let everybody know how it went. But if you're thinking about doing something, consider gifting memberships so that when we start this, hopefully they'll be a member and they'll be able to follow along on the adventure. I'm eating the fruit snacks. I don't know how long they've been in that box. They taste fairly good. Let's take a look together at the Centauri. Still printing. They still taste fairly fresh. So there's that. It doesn't taste like I'm gonna die. Whoops, I dropped one on the dusty floor. You guys know my floor. I'm not eating this one. I eat that one, and I'll have consumed so much concrete dust that I'll probably have like a small brick in my intestines. But yeah, so like I said, there's some things to build, some stuff to do. I am gonna take the switch wire back there. We're gonna pull that guy down. I'm gonna have to reprint the tool head with a cutter. So we'll have to do a cutter on there. Maybe LDO will want to sponsor a Jabberwocky kit for it. We'll have to hit up Jason and see if he wants to do that. Then I can print the parts for the Jabberwocky and he can send me over the parts to make the Jabberwocky. Then we can throw a Jabberwocky on it. And if not, we'll just take what we've got there for parts, reprint the stealth, the one with the cutter in it, the stealth cutter or whatever the hell it's called. And then we'll put it on that bad mamma jamma back there, get that thing up and running, and we can test out the Happy Turtle on it, and then we can try the MMU or the MMU and the Happy Turtle. We'll go one way or the other. We'll try them both out and see how they both do, and see what kind of quality we get out of both of them. I thought about putting something on the Magneto, but for as troublesome as the Magneto is, and kind of stubborn as it can be, maybe not. I might grab that roll of PET or PET CF that I have there that's still in the box. I might grab that, pull that out, open it up, and then toss that in the Magneto, reslice those files in the PET CF, and then reprint those parts for this in that. But that's not a tonight project. It's 2 hours and 22 minutes in. I've got about 6 minutes left, and then I'm going to bed because I'm old, and it's kind of past my bedtime, even though my bedtime hasn't been 9 o'clock in some time, because when you get the mental gymnastics of life running, marathons in your brain, it makes it really hard for you to calm down and go to sleep at night. Do sus burner. I could look into a sus burner. We'll figure something out. Like I said, we'll figure something out for that one. But it's going to go on the switch wire, and we'll play around with the switch wire and some PLA and multicolor with these two other units and see how they do. And then the nice part is at least I'll have an actual ace unit here from Anycubic to play around with and try, as well as the other two units, and we can put one unit on, try it, see how that does, print a bunch of stuff, then put the other unit on, try that, print the same files, and see how that one does, and see what the differences are, what kind of differences we see between them. So there's that. So that was kind of my thought. Build one unit first, maybe do the members only stream with that, build one unit first, get it set up, get it working, then do the next the next one. After we're done with that, then the next one would restart the other build, get that one up and running, and do that. Projects in Dad's Garage. How are we doing, good sir? I always want to just shorten that to Pidgey, like instead of Pidgey, Pidgey. But that's just me. PDG. How you doing, good sir? Yeah. Like I told these guys all earlier, man, life just wanted to kick me in the dick over and over again, and I got the panels in from LTX for the Labrax. There was one issue with one panel. This one right here is just a little too big. So he mentioned take it to a table saw and just cut off the little bit that's too much. So I'm going to take it to work with me in the morning. Throw some blue painter's tape on there so I can keep the edge a little nice, and then run it through the table saw. I'm going to take 3 mils off the top and off the bottom here, and then it'll just be take out one piece, slide this in, make sure it fits, and then we're good to go. But it's about 6 mils too much on this. But all the other panels, the 2 side panels, fit perfect. And then the inside the bottom panel looks good. And it definitely added more rigidity to this. This thing was pretty rigid to begin with, but it made it more rigid. And my good buddy Aaron or Aaron Geared 3D is what he goes by. He was in here. He's good with like 3D modeling and design. I mentioned to him about possibly making some kind of a bracket to hold the Big Tree Tech HDMI 5 and make a 2U unit where we could put it either to one side, in the middle, and then obviously put it on one side. You can always just flip the whole thing over instead of making 3 different units. But you can put one here or the middle, and then doing like the honeycomb pattern maybe to help with airflow, or even make it, if it's on one side, where you can have some kind of a kind of like the Lab Stack Mini here has these little brackets that you can screw in, make his own design for like a modular system to go in the side here where you could put Raspberry Pis or hard drives or something else. So he could make his own variation of a 2U unit that holds this display with some kind of a bracket for the back to hold the 4 screws, and then you just set it in from the rear and then just 4 screws on the front to just pull the 2 pieces together. And then this way you'd have like the touchscreen, HDMI touchscreen, all in a 5-inch display. These are the Big Tree Tech screens, so fairly easy to get your hands on. If anybody want to get one, they can jump on Amazon, pick these up. So I'm hoping he can get a decent design out there. If he's got time, I'll get it, print it. If it works out great, he'll probably put it up for sale for however much. And if anybody wants to go buy the file, they can buy the file and print them off. If not, and he just wants to give it away, well, then he'll upload it to his place and everybody can go buy one or get it from there. But my hope is, no matter what, LTX now knows the dimensions for the panels, so LTX can do panel sales now if anybody wants to get panels, if they build one. So that's pretty sweet. And then, like I said, if my buddy Aaron can get that for me when he gets time, he's with family, so I don't expect him to drop everything for me, but when he gets time, he's got some downtime, he's sitting there twiddling his thumbs. Maybe he loads it up and gets to doing something there. That'll be pretty sweet. And then Down Under Maker was here earlier, and he was talking about these 10-inch HDMI displays that he's been getting off of AliExpress. I haven't looked in Discord to see if maybe he sent me a link or anywhere else, but maybe doing a 10-inch display on the rear instead of the 7-inch display I originally was thinking. We'll do a 10-inch display on the rear of this, because if we do a 10-inch display in the rear, and then I do a wireless keyboard and mouse, then I can use the Raspberry Pi 5 in here as like a little portable desktop when I go to events and stuff. Have the 10-inch display on the rear, keyboard, mouse. The Pi 5 will be my mobile desktop, and then it can run like a slicer and any other stuff I might want to run while I'm at an event or something. I won't necessarily have to bring my laptop and have my laptop out for people to mess with. Plus, this thing will look pretty badass if I go to an event. This thing's sitting on the table, all 3D printed with a bunch of network equipment in there, showing people how awesome the LabRack system is, that LTX can cut panels for them, that the Big Tree Tech display will work for this, and that's, again, in 3D printing. Everybody knows the Big Tree Tech HDMI 5. Most people might even have one laying around, and if they can print a panel to put it in the front of their system, and most of us have at least a Raspberry Pi or variant laying around, or even like the little small form factor, like the mini PCs. I know Captain Kern said at some point when he's in a better place financially, he was going to send me one of the little, like, I think he said he's got the little IBMs or something like that. One of those little think centers that they have. So, he could send me one of those, and then realistically, I can throw one of them in here too, just to kind of show. And if it gets to that point where I'm trying to put so much in here just as to show it off, like I said earlier, I could always print another set of these and go 10U instead of 5U, have more space to put stuff in, and then this way we can get the math figured out, and then LTX can offer the standard 5U panels, the 8U panels, and the 10U panels, and that way if somebody wants to build a standard 5, 5+3, or a 5+5, he would already have all that information ready to rock and roll. They can just go on there, order the ones they want. He can cut them, send them out the door. So, but realistically, if I added 3 more U to this, that would probably be big enough. And then it would just be a matter of, realistically, if I did that, I would probably just print all the parts again and make an actual 3U or a 8U and a 10U. And then that way, go to events, show it off, and have the standard 5, the 5+3, and the 5+5. And then just tell them, you want panels? Contact LTX. If you ain't got the parts laying around, these are the parts I've used. Do with that information as you will. But yeah, tonight was more or less just a show that off. And then right here are the 2 orange pies that Orange Pie sent me out for this. This one is an 8 gig. They told me they were out of 8 gigs. They were going to send me 2 4 gigs. Well, they sent me 1 8 gig and 1 4 gig. So I have Raspberry Pi 3B Plus, Raspberry Pi 5, 4 Keystone Jacks, the 3B 8 gig, and Orange Pi 3B 8 gig, Orange Pi 3B 4 gig, the Libre sweet potato board, and then the Libre Alta board. So those are the 6 units that are currently in there. It's only a 4+1 port or 4+1 switch. This is only a 10100. My current internet now in my home is 2 gig. We switched over to that Surf internet that came to our area. It's fiber to the house. It's 2 gigs symmetric, and it saves us $80 a month over the cable bill. And the cable was 1 gig down and only 50 meg up, and this is 2 gigs symmetric. And it's $80, like $80 a month less than what we were paying for cable. And in canceling the cable, we're getting back a check for 35 bucks because we canceled before the end of our billing cycle. And now, because I work for a school, the company we currently have offers a $5 discount per month to people in EDU or military or EMS, stuff like that. They offer a discount. Mediacom did not. So Surf, good on you for offering a discount. You know, that's pretty awesome, especially when you not only included the people you should, fire, EMS, police, military, but you also include us schmucks in the EDU sector. So thank you for that. But like I said, even if I didn't, it was $95 a month for 2 gigs symmetric internet to my home. Like, that's a gig of overhead right now because none of my network equipment will do more than a gig. Like, the computer I'm streaming from does a gig. I'm going to get a 2.5 gig card and plug it in so I can have 2 gig upload download speeds, because then I will definitely never have a problem with my streams and speed. Right now, like I said, the camera's bumped up to 4K. Still only streaming out at 1080. But I'm going to swap out that monitor there for this monitor here. And then hopefully having a 4K monitor will allow me to stream a little higher. Because, like I said, I think that it's because of the desktop display is why it's doing that. If I remember right, it has something to do with your max resolution. Let's see here. Output, audio, video. And then, yeah, output scale, base canvas is 1080 because that's what the screens are, is 1080. So, like, my base canvas here is 1080. So if I get a 4K screen, I should be able to get up to 4K, and then my canvas would be better, and then hopefully it will be better. But like I said, I don't really know what I'm actually streaming out at. Let's see. My preview window is still only giving me that. Let me go to the YouTube channel and see. YouTube.com. Let's go to my channel. View your channel. All right, I'm live. Let's click there and mute that. Damn, it loads so fast. Holy bejesus. Yeah, 1080-60 is what it's outputting still. It'd be nice to get it where I can actually stream out at 4K. Then you guys can see every wrinkle, every gray hair, every speck of dust. Anytime a little bug's crawling around on the floor, you'll tell me about it. You know. But I'm so used to when I would, on cable, when I would click on the stream, it would take a minute for it to like come up when I would jump over. And like now I click on shit and it just shows up. And I know that it's still 1 gig, but for some reason it seems like this 1 gig is faster. Because even while streaming, speedtest.net. Let's run a speedtest.net. Why not? Surf Fiber out of Chicago. I'm not showing you guys my screen because my IP address is on there. Yeah, it's with me streaming. It's still pushing. There's 700 meg, 775, 780, 775, 780, 790, 799. So almost 800 meg while still streaming, and I didn't drop any frames because I'm not running the speed test on my modem. And my upload speed while streaming, my upload speed 691. Yeah. Good stuff. So no complaint there. Like absolutely none. Thank you, Surf Internet. And dear Surf Internet, if you'd like to become a sponsor of these streams and give me a little kickback per month on my interwebs bill, I will be more than happy to put a sponsored by Surf Internet. Put a link in my thing. I am more than happy to put links places, and if people can get surf, then they know how good it is because they see my streams and they just know. You definitely don't have Cox. Local admin, no, I don't. And good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, I looked up this company and did a lot of research before I wanted to make the jump because they were coming into the area. And other than people's complaints about the third-party contractors doing some weird stuff, nobody's complained about the actual service. So because they're new to our area, they're offering this crazy low rate, and they're offering it as a locked for life kind of price. So I figured I can't utilize the full 2 gig right now, but who knows what the future and home network equipment will be. So I figured better to lock in the faster internet for the extra $15 a month, which is still $90, $89, $70, $80 cheaper than my current internet bill. So, or what my current internet bill was with the other company. So I figured it'd be silly not to, just go all out, still save almost half my bill every month and just lock in that rate for life. So we've got that rate for life. There's no, it's not going to go up in a little while. It is what it is. It'll stay that way. And it's a all included. So that's the modem. That's the modem, one arrow. We use we got their little arrow router. So it's the modem, one arrow, and all taxes and fees is the flat rate $95 a month. That's freaking insane. And I don't know why anybody would pass that up. My mom actually called and is switching. My neighbor, he is talking about switching because his bill is about the same as what my parents are currently paying, which is like 140-ish a month, which is funny that the longer you stay with a company, the more they charge you, because my 1 gig and my neighbor's 1 gig were the same 1 gig coming across the same cable to the same house. But because I had the service for like 2 years longer, I paid $50 more, $40 more. That doesn't make sense to me. The longer a person is with you, the more loyal they are to you, the better the discount should be. It should be the other way around. If you join, you pay more, and as you stay with them, the price gets less. Not when you join them, the price is down, and then over the years, they jack the price up. But that's just me, I know, local. I know. Companies are just insane these days. Like, that's why, like I said, that was like one of the big deciding factors was more internet, especially on the upload. Because with me doing streaming for you guys, the more upload speed you have, the better quality the upload can be. So I was like, baby, we're going to save money by doing this. She's like, okay. I said, and I'm going to have insane upload speed. And she's like, well, what do you mean? I said, well, we currently get 50 meg. We're going to get 2 gig, which is like 40x our upload speed. And she's like, oh, okay. Yeah. They already have you, so they'll try to rob you. Yes, Havoc, that is how it works. They figure you've already got it and you don't want to go through the headache of the switching it or switching. So we've already got you. So we'll charge you more and you'll just pay it because you don't want to switch. Well, yeah, my IP address to my home is not the important part for me. So switching my service and getting a different public IP address does not scare me. And yes, my internal IP address, if I really wanted to, if I really went down that road and I really set up my network like a crazy network admin, if I had my home network set up, I could have left my own IP scheme in place and nothing would have happened. But to me, it's not that big a deal. I can just turn things off, turn them back on. They pull the new IP address. I get the new IP address. I change the program that it's connected to and problem solve. And down the road, I could want to do that for my home network and set it up where I have my own router in place. And maybe if Ubiquiti wants to send me a couple of 2.5 gig switches, 24 port, please. And then maybe a Dream Machine. Because if you're gonna send me a Dream Machine, Ubiquiti, I'll put that thing in and I'll hook up some of your Ubiquiti cameras around my house. Like whatever you want to send me, Ubiquiti. And if you guys want to send me a sweet little like 8-port like edge switch to put in here, I can do a little like Ubiquiti 8-port edge switch in here. It doesn't have to be a PoE version. It can just be the standard edge switch. But if it's edge with PoE, 2.5 gig would be sweet. But really, these devices only do 1 gig. So one gig. If you want to send me that stuff, Ubiquiti, just hit me up. Dan at MakerMind Nexus, let me know. I will let you know what I'm looking for. You guys can send me the equipment. We'll set up as much of it as we can. Obviously, I'll have to record a bunch of it and actually make some real content with it. But I would. Just let me know. You can't get into your server to switch from Proxmox to Unraid? Yeah. I can play around with these guys back here and set up like a little mini Proxmox and stuff, or Unraid or whatever. You know, I can do a lot of that stuff. And because I'm putting a big rack in the house, I might actually set up a couple of like, I might set up like an actual server in the house to do, just some basic like tinkering around, playing around, run Home Assistant, and start connecting all my devices to that. It'd be kind of sweet to have a little touch panel on the wall that can control everything and then have access through the phones to turn lights on and off, change temperatures, all that fun stuff. Maybe view a couple of cameras, add a couple of cameras around the house to watch the perimeter. Be nice to have that. Oh, local admin, I know, man, I know. This ain't your first time here, and with a name like local admin, yeah, kind of gives it away. But I would love to get some network upgrades in the house to 2.5 gig network switches, because now that I have 2 gig internet, why not let the pipe or the individual devices have as much freedom as they need to just scream out of the house, right? I do have a couple of these bad little mamma jammas floating around that are 10 gig that I can backbone the house to the garage. My SFP Plus modules. Got a couple of the little 10 gig base ones. I think my Ubiquiti switches will do 10. I just got to, run the fiber from the house to out here and then hope that 10 gig will work. And if not, I've got some 1 gigs for right now. And down the road, I can look at getting some switches and some fiber that'll do 10 gig plus between them. And then I can just have a 10 gig backbone between the garage and the house. And then again, 2 gig out to the interwebs. Be pretty sweet. Yeah, be pretty freaking sweet. But gang, it is now 20 minutes past, or 18 minutes past the 9 o'clock. I want to go to bedtime. So it is awesome that you guys came and hung out. To the 15, it does say I have 15 watching currently. So to the 15 of you that stuck it out, thank you very much for that. This was kind of a little bit of an all over the place stream, little ADHD action. Before we end the stream though, let's look at the carbon. Look at that little dragon printing away. Fingers crossed he prints with no issues and we get a nice little dragon and my wife will be happy, you know. So hopefully that continues to print and looks good in the morning when it's done, and the missus will be happy. She'll have a cute little red and gold dragon that she can play with to go with the gold dragon and the silver one I've already made her. And then I said we'll order some more of that black 6 filament, the silver and blue, the green and blue, and the red and blue. Those are the 3 rolls I'm gonna actually purchase. So those will be my poor financial decision with this paycheck. I'll spend, hopefully the discount will still be there tomorrow when I purchase them. But yeah, gang, I can feel it. I'm getting that weird, like, sucked in tunnel vision thing going. So it's time for the old man to go to bed. Viking brother, yes, I'm going. But I love you guys. Stay out of trouble, stay out of jail. Happy 3D printing, all those fun things. I will talk to you guys on the next one. Don't know when it'll be, but we'll give away filament on that one. We'll give away a roll of Polymaker or 2 on that one. So have a good night, guys. Thanks for coming and hanging out. And hopefully your day is better than a swift kick in the nuts.